In this illuminating video, we will explore the underlying reasons why some people, whether they be a new acquaintance, an old friend, or a romantic partner, continue to keep lingering in our thoughts. We may be unable to stop thinking about someone for a variety of reasons, including emotional attachments, memories, and occasionally spiritual experiences. Finding the deeper facets of our relationships with people and learning more about our inner selves from these recurring ideas are the goals of this journey, which goes beyond simple curiosity. Come along with us as we solve these puzzles and learn more about the human heart and mental abilities. Reason 1. Soul connection. The idea of a soul connection explores the deep, frequently unexplainable connections we have with specific people. Dolores, a well-known previous life regression therapist, made substantial contributions to this subject with her work on soul groups and former life relationships. A soul connection is a strong spiritual tie ingrained in the foundation of our existence that frequently spans numerous lives. It is not only a coincidence or the result of circumstance. With this knowledge, the concept of a soul family or soul tribe is born. It implies that we belong to a community of souls with whom we have a deep and predetermined spiritual relationship even before we are born into the material world. These relationships are not coincidental. Rather, they are essential to our journey and spiritual development. Cannon's thesis revolves around the idea of basic soul frequencies. Each soul has its own energy signature, a vibration that sets it apart from other souls. This pattern is essential to our social interactions. When two individuals with complementary or harmonically resonant core soul frequencies touch, they may feel that they are drawn to one another instantly or experience a magnetic pull. This is a profoundly spiritual connection that surpasses rational or physical understanding. Cannon's collection of work is full of case studies and examples that demonstrate this phenomenon. For example, those who have had regressions into prior lives frequently report meeting souls with whom they have a mysterious connection, which may indicate a reunion with soul family members. These stories offer powerful proof of how our relationships and attractiveness are influenced by our basic soul vibrations. Strong soul connections can show up as recurring thoughts about a certain someone. According to Cannon's understanding, these concepts are more than just desires or obsessions. They have a deeper spiritual importance. If we find ourselves thinking about someone from our soul family all the time, it may be a message from our higher self or subconscious that there is a big spiritual lesson to be learned or a past life difficulty that has to be handled. These recurring ideas may act as a spur to spiritual and personal development. They support contemplation and point us in the direction of comprehending the most profound facets of our soul's journey. We may address past life concerns, discover hidden facets of our mind, and advance on our spiritual journey by identifying and investigating these thoughts. Reason 2. Energetic attachment. A fundamental component of Dolores Cannon's research into the interconnectedness of human consciousness is the idea of an energy relationship. According to this theory, our thoughts and vibrations are not separate entities but rather have the power to affect people, even when they are far away. It is related to the philosophical idea that all energy is related. The work of Cannon explores the nuances of how our thoughts and energies are not contained within us, but rather radiate outside and affect and interact with other people's energies. According to this viewpoint, the cosmos is a huge linked network in which every person's energy adds to the field of energy that exists overall. Mutual thinking interchange is one of the most intriguing features of this active interconnectedness. An unnoticed relationship may form when someone regularly thinks about you, especially when those thoughts are packed with emotional and energetic intent. This connection has the power to subtly affect you, making you consider them in return. In the same way, the way you think about someone else might connect with them and direct their thoughts towards you. To comprehend this phenomenon, one must grasp Cannon's viewpoint on the power of thinking and energy. She stresses that our thoughts are active energy patterns that have the power to change our connections and reality, rather than only being inert mental processes. This suggests that the recurring ideas we have about other people, or that other people have about us, might be a way for us to communicate energetically, building relationships both in the material and spiritual worlds. There are several ways in which this energy connection might appear in real life. For instance, feeling someone's sadness from a distance and subsequently discovering they needed assistance at that very time, or thinking about someone and then suddenly getting a call from them. These incidents are not random occurrences. Rather, they serve as illustrations of how our mental and energetic relationships work. Interpretations of these kinds of occurrences by canon lead to a more profound comprehension of spiritual relationships and energy exchange. She could argue that these instances demonstrate our profound spiritual interconnectedness, with our thoughts functioning as energy receivers that could link us to others in our energy network. Reason 3. Healing and closure. Our spiritual self may occasionally communicate with us through persistent thoughts about someone to help us address and overcome internal problems. This concept is reflected in Dolores Cannon's teachings, which frequently stress how crucial it is to overcome unresolved conflicts and traumas from previous lives in order to promote spiritual development and healing. Cannon suggests that these recurrent ideas could be remnants of previous incarnations or unfinished spiritual teachings that we still need to learn. Regression therapy and introspective meditation are two methods that might be helpful in this healing process. By exploring the more profound depths of our subconscious, these techniques help us discover hidden spiritual ties and past life events that may be affecting our feelings and ideas now. A thoughtful, introspective approach that might result in substantial emotional development and understanding is needed to come to terms with recurrent thoughts about someone. Recognizing the desire for closure is the first step in this process. It's important to recognize that the thoughts you have for someone all the time are not just memories. Rather, they are messages from your subconscious or higher self. Addressing the unsolved issues that underlie these recurrent ideas generally begins with this realization. Reflecting on oneself is an essential next step. By exploring and comprehending the causes of your recurring ideas, you may gain a better understanding of your emotional state by employing introspective techniques like breathing exercises. You may identify the emotional underlying themes influencing your thoughts and emotions by engaging in this type of introspection. Following a lengthy period of contemplation, it's critical to recognize and express your emotions and ideas. Putting your feelings on paper on unsolved matters with the individual in question might help you get clarity and a more concrete grasp of your inner state. Selecting a plan of action is essential. If speaking with the individual isn't feasible or appropriate, you have two options: either discover inner peace or engage in direct conversation. Internal settlement is preferable if the matter occurred a long time ago, or if the person is no longer alive. Developing a personal peace plan is a crucial step in this process. This might be jotting down certain realizations or statements that help with the letting go phase. Examples of these affirmations include realizing the value and function of previous relationships in your life, and the fallacy of making comparisons. These affirmations serve as pillars, assisting you in keeping your bearings and concentrating on your recovery. Lastly, developing a regular reflection routine guarantees that your path to serenity stays proactive and mindful. Rereading your affirmations or comments on a daily basis helps you stay in the present and move on from the past. This is especially helpful when memories of the individual come back. This exercise helps with the slow process of emotional healing and closure, in addition to strengthening your commitment. In summary, the process of reconciling with recurrent thoughts is quite personal and necessitates accepting your free will and ability to choose your course of action. This process entails realizing that accepting one's existing situation and clinging to the past impede personal development. Reason 4. Soul contracts. Soul contracts, which are said to direct and impact our spiritual development, are profound spiritual pacts made before we were even born. Relationships in our lives, ranging from friendships and love experiences to relationships with family members, are supported by these contracts. These soul contracts may hold the key to explaining why we can't stop thinking about someone. These soul contracts dictate a specific function for every individual we meet on our spiritual path. Whether they are joyful, painful, or challenging, these interactions are meant to challenge us and drive us to grow as people and get a better understanding of ourselves. Our soul contracts mandate that if we find ourselves thinking about someone non-stop, it may be an indication from a higher level of consciousness that there is unresolved business or a lesson to be learned from them. Our ability to grow spiritually and emotionally is hampered when we ignore or reject these profound spiritual connections, which frequently result in emotional complications and destructive obsessions. On the other hand, accepting and working with these soul contracts can have a transforming effect. It enables us to see these recurring ideas as chances for personal development, learning about ourselves, and engaging with them. One powerful illustration of how intricate these spiritual contracts may be is seen in the biography of math prodigy John Nash Jr. Nash's personal relationships and the spiritual contracts he felt he had were closely related to his battle with mental health concerns, especially paranoid schizophrenia. Despite several obstacles along the way, his trip ultimately brought him tranquility and a greater knowledge of who he was. Comprehending our soul contracts provides a structure for analyzing why specific individuals persistently appear in our consciousness. It indicates that there's more going on than just an emotional bond or recollections. These agreements cover more ground than only the other party. They also cover the role that they play in our quest for spirituality and self-actualization. Recognizing the existence of these contracts allows us to begin to uncover the causes of our ingrained beliefs about certain people. It's a process of figuring out what these ideas are attempting to teach us, what lessons these events are designed to teach us, and how we may use them to better ourselves. Reason 5. Synchronicities. It's possible that thinking about someone a lot might be a sign of a message or guidance from the universe or one's higher self, which is based on the teachings of Dolores Cannon on the relationship between spiritual guidance and awareness. According to Cannon's worldview, people are pieces of a greater cosmic network, and signs from other worlds or facets of oneself that exist outside the common conscious mind are frequently explained by synchronicities, intuitive insights, and recurring ideas. A person may interpret their persistent thoughts about another person from the perspective of synchronicity, an idea made prominent by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. Meaningful coincidences, known as synchronicities, challenge traditional theories of cause and effect and point to a deeper relationship between the inner and outer worlds. In this scenario, the recurrent thoughts may be seen as a type of synchronicity, suggesting that there is something important or meaningful about the connection or relationship with that individual. These recurring ideas might also be seen spiritually as messages from spiritual guidance or the higher self. The part of oneself that exists outside of the ego and has more knowledge and insight is commonly referred to as the higher self. It speaks to people through gut instincts, synchronicities, and intuition, guiding them towards self-healing, personal development, and soul purpose alignment. Depending on the situation and the people involved, the advice or message in the context of always thinking about someone might differ greatly. It might serve as a reminder to consider the dynamics of the relationship, to show appreciation or forgiveness, to establish limits, or to move inspiredly in the direction of a common objective. On the other hand, it could serve as a catalyst for delving into more profound facets of oneself that are being revealed in the relationship, resulting in an increased level of self-awareness and spiritual development. In the end, it takes honesty, reflection, and a readiness to believe in the wisdom of the higher self or spiritual guides, as well as the interconnection of all things, to interpret recurring thoughts about someone as a form of guidance or message. Reason 6. Resolving karmic imbalances. The theory of unresolved karma provides a convincing justification for why you can find yourself thinking about someone all the time. Unresolved karma implies that these recurring thoughts may be a spiritual signal based on the idea that what we have done in the past in this or prior incarnations has had a substantial influence on our current existence. They can suggest that there is a karmic imbalance that has to be corrected as a result of prior actions or experiences. In this sense, karma refers to the spiritual concept of cause and effect, according to which our past experiences, both good and bad, are shaped by the choices we make today. Recurring thoughts about the people associated with prior actions, such as betrayal, abandonment, or inflicting misery on others, might be an indication of unresolved karma. According to this theory, the energy in our lives strives for balance. When we think about the people involved in our past conduct, our subconscious and the cosmos work together to bring any imbalances to our attention. These ideas are calls to action, imploring us to confront and overcome the underlying karmic difficulties, more than just recollections or reflections. These strong feelings frequently indicate unresolved issues with someone. Maybe there were unspoken thoughts, unspoken emotions, or unsolved misunderstandings. We desire closure or conclusion because these unresolved aspects of our previous connections persist in our minds. The idea of resolving karma, which is ingrained in spiritual beliefs, encompasses a variety of methods intended to improve harmony and comprehension in an individual's life. Getting spiritual direction is one strategy that seems to work. Seeking guidance from mystics or spiritual advisors might help you understand the type of unresolved karma you have. These professionals may assist you in navigating the complexity of karmic liabilities and lessons by providing special insights and techniques adapted to your own experiences and spiritual path. It is essential to practice self-discovery and meditation in addition to seeking outside assistance. By encouraging a closer relationship with your inner self, these contemplative techniques enable you to go into your subconscious, which is frequently where unresolved karma is hidden. You can discover the underlying causes of recurrent thoughts and comprehend their importance within the framework of your karmic path by practicing meditation. Realizing who you are is a crucial first step towards realizing and doing the spiritual work that needs to be done. Conscious acts and healing are essential components in resolving karma. It entails making a commitment to learn from the past and concentrate on making a good difference in both your own and other people's lives. If you want to resolve old traumas and restore harmony to your relationships, you really need to change your behavior and intention when doing things. You may actively help to clear your karmic debts and enhance your spiritual well-being by making decisions that promote development and optimism. And lastly, it is essential to comprehend the karmic cycle. Understanding why some people keep coming up in your thoughts may teach you valuable lessons and highlight unsolved problems. This comprehension calls for more than simply contemplation. It calls for actively resolving these issues throughout your current existence. Unfinished or unresolved business can be addressed to stop negative karmic cycles and keep them from happening again. The process of recognizing and resolving issues is an ongoing process that is essential to both spiritual development and achieving karmic balance. Reason 7. Romantic relationships. Dolores Cannon's work in spiritual regression can provide further insight into the unique and significant reason that falling in love offers in the examination of why you can't stop thinking about someone. If you find yourself thinking about a new romantic partner all the time, it can indicate something more than simply a temporary interest or intense emotional attachment. It might be an indication of a profound spiritual bond. It is possible to interpret this intense attention to another person as the waking and acknowledgement of a strong spiritual connection, possibly predestined. According to Cannon's research on soul journeys and past life experiences, these relationships are frequently predetermined and are essential to our spiritual development. Therefore, accepting these emotions becomes essential to realizing the spiritual value of this relationship. It's important to comprehend and foster a deeper soul connection in addition to the romantic delight. In this situation, having open and honest communication with your new partner is crucial. Harmonizing your spiritual paths and guaranteeing compatibility in the material realm are equally important aspects of aligning your life objectives and ambitions. This alignment may be understood as a type of soul match, which is a notion Cannon often emphasizes, and in which two souls unite to grow, learn, and progress. It's crucial to strike a balance between your intense thoughts about your new love and your personal development as you become more self-aware. The teachings of Cannon urge you to stay unique while you pursue a profound relationship with another person. Maintaining this equilibrium is essential because it enables you to both pursue your individual spiritual path and participate in a joint one with your significant other. It's common for people in new relationships to lose themselves in their partner, sometimes to the detriment of other facets of life. While spending a lot of your mental energy with the person you love is normal and frequently spiritually meaningful, it's crucial to maintain your sense of self and your commitment to your own life and obligations. This harmony makes sure that you take care of your own spiritual development and well-being in addition to investigating this deep link. As we get to the end of our journey into the various reasons why a certain person is always on our minds, it's critical to acknowledge the complexity of human relationships. By admitting these explanations, we allow ourselves to comprehend our feelings and experiences on a deeper level. We gain more knowledge and understanding as we manage our relationships and ideas, resulting in a more rewarding and greater life experience. In light of this, when you consider the reasons why a certain person is still deeply ingrained in your memory, recall that this is a chance for reflection, education, and personal development. Accept these realizations as a part of your individual spiritual path and allow them to lead you to a greater level of self-awareness and fulfillment. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so that you may receive updates on new videos that will provide you with additional knowledge, manifestations, visualizations, philosophy, and personal development ideas. Feel free to share your thoughts if you enjoyed this video. If you have watched until the end, please respond with Master Motivational Mindset, so we can connect.